So today, what we're gonna be doing is prepping my house for the brutal Montreal winters. So we're gonna be installing one of those carports. I got mine right here. It's completely disassembled. Now, for this job, I hire it out. It's probably the only thing I hire out. So it's gonna cost me $190. Two guys are gonna show up and they're gonna assemble my car shelter, which is called a tempo. It's too much work for me to do on my own. I'm also going to be installing winter mats. So my winter mats are here, and that's gonna help my tenants not slip in the winter. We're gonna be moving my bachelor's mailbox out closer to the street. I have his mailbox here. I also have a gazebo in the backyard that collapsed on me the first year I owned the house. So instead of going out there and cleaning the snow every winter, every time it snows so it doesn't collapse, I'm going to be installing these supports. It's going to brace the weight of the snow. This piece of wood gets installed up here, so the metal of the car shelter port doesn't touch the stucco. So these are the supports. I'm going to install two of them. I just made this base. You don't need it, but it just gives me more stability. So more surface contact on the floor. And I'm going to put one of them here and one of them here. And I also made these pads out of wood. That's going to fit on here. And this is gonna go here also to increase the surface area. That's gonna stabilize this very well so it's not going to collapse on me. This was a big job to repair, so I had to make a whole bunch of new pieces for it. So these are telescopic. Okay, so this got a whole bunch of positions on it, and it's got a thread up here. So that's the final adjustment I have to make. I'll get the other one positioned and then we'll tighten that screw. Got one more to put here. Okay, so that's all there is to it. And that's much less work than me having to dig my way into the backyard. You're gonna see the snow is gonna be probably up to here. So I would have to come out here and clean the snow from the top of this so it wouldn't collapse. Like I said, these bases are not necessary. I just had the material at work, and because I'm me, I did it. So, but not necessary. But this wood up here, if you could stick a 2x4 and put a hole in it somehow, just to position yourself. So you could buy these, I think they're about $50 each. and that's the way it stays. I brought all the chairs in. Now I'm just gonna keep this blue tarp out here because there's a cat that likes to lay there. Make his life a little easier. All right, let's go do the stairs. Okay, so that's gonna help with ice buildup. These are gonna freeze into place. So this is installed. Those guys were in and out in about an hour and a half. This would have taken me probably 8 hours over 2 days. Now, what's left to do is that I need to close in this side here and also this side here. It's gone through a couple of evolutions. When I bought the house, the previous owner had plywood here, and then I kind of designed it so it would be easier to put up. So I use these aluminum tracks that have a spring and the tarp goes in there. Here I have to install it, but the holes are already drilled with a 1024 screw. So the system I've used is gonna have to be modified a little bit because this is a new tarp. I paid for a new tarp because the old tarp was torn and ruined. So the original system worked well with this old tarp, but this new tarp is designed a little bit differently. I want to make use of this flap. This is connected. So I'm gonna fold this over and connect it to this pillar, and then have to cut something custom up here. Same thing for this side. See, these anchors are good because they take a machine screw. So you could remove them and reinstall them as many times as you want. A Tapcon wouldn't be able to use that. Now I don't like this situation. I can't fold this back because it's stuck in here. So I think I'm gonna have to cut this so it folds back properly because it gets stuck up here. I'm gonna cut it along this fold line. I like that. So I want to extend this. I don't want this gap. So I'm going to try to tie wrap it with grommets. I'm gonna use stainless steel tie wraps, so they're gonna last. So the next piece, I'm gonna wanna cover this entire span. So I'm gonna have to install another one of these tracks for the spring. So I'm gonna have to drill and put anchors here. Anchor here. It's a sleeve anchor with a stainless steel 1032 screw. So the first thing I need to do is expand this inside the hole. Use a washer as a backing plate. Expand the anchor. Okay, one is done. Now I could mark the holes for the other ones. Next year, this has to be put on before I do the tempo tarp. First this, and then call the guys to assemble that so I could drape it over properly. Now I can't get it under. Gonna have to put a lot of grommets. Just gonna trim this up and we're almost done. Now I'm gonna pull it into the back. Right, I'm gonna weigh this down now. Okay. It's all gonna freeze into place anyway. So, we're done. Next year it should go a lot quicker. So no snow should come in here, or melting when there's the freeze-thaw cycle. I won't have a big ice patch here and here like I did last year. All right, so that's gonna make the mailman life easier. Instead of coming down here, he's gonna be able to put my tenant's mail up there. Okay, so out with the snowblower and in with the lawnmower. So that's where the lawnmower is going to stay until the spring. So that's the 1980s lawnmower, and now we have the 1980s Craftsman snowblower. Also a freebie, but it runs and it works. So this is going to be a very cold start. I haven't started this thing since, I don't know, April. Wow. Alright, so that's Montreal winter prep. This is what we have to go through in Montreal. It's ridiculous. We have to build like this tempo, or else we would have to shovel like crazy here. Or I would have to get a snow removal service in order to get out of my driveway. So before I put this thing away for the winter, I want to drain the gas out of the bowl. So it's going to start right up just like my snowblower did. Now the problem is that it's going to leak on the floor here. Just realized that it doesn't have a fuel shut off, so I'm gonna have to put one on. I used to drain the tank completely. I don't like it because it's kind of interfering with the governor. Alright, it's not touching now. So now we gotta shut off. Let's drain that bowl.